Hello, this is AFROHADA.
Hi, Josh.
Oh, hey, so you're here.
Yeah.
Nice timing.
How are you?
I'm doing fine, and I was curious about one thing, huh?
Uh-huh.
Could you tell me everything you know about African films?
Yo, you're the first one who asked me about it.
Please.
Well, actually, I'm interested in, but it's hard for Korean to watch African film. So I watched a few of it through film festival.
All right.
My favorite is Côte d'Ivoire film. One is Night of the Kings, and one is Aya of the Yob City animation.
All right.
I like to know more about African cinema.
Now that's good, Dan.
Yeah.
Nice timing. Today we're gonna dive into the biggest of all these African cult films.
The classic.
Yes. Guess which one?
Touki
Bouki!
Yay! Let's go.
Let's go.
Touki Bouki, or the English name Journey of the Hyenas. It's a Senegalese film directed by
Djibril
Djibril
Diop
Diop
Mambety.
Mambety, which is released in 1973.
Wait, 1973? That means it's 50 years since it was released.
Yeah.
Wow. Anyway, the storyline of Touki Bouki follows the lives of two people. You know, they're living in this new republic of Senegal, but they don't like it that much there. So they dream of leaving Senegal to go to France.
dañu tuuti xaalis tuuti moom comme ça bu ñu duggee ci biir di ñax ay pot ma xam dara laaj na suñu dellu see fii ma nekk kilifa kenn du ma ñeme woo te waxuloo monsieur Mori sinon dina tàng tax yow nag su boobaa nga dugg waa rouge.
So we mentioned in the beginning, like, Touki Bouki, it's a cult classic.
You remember, like in 2018, Beyonce and Jay-Z, they were going on a tour. They copy-pasted a scene from Touki Bouki. A lot of people were curious, why did that visual came out? Yeah, and people were like, it's actually from Touki Bouki.
So
And people who didn't know Touki Bouki, they
Yeah.
actually went and found out.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
That's the power of like pop culture. And also, there is a British rapper named Little Simz, and one of her music video named Point and Kill. There was also the same motorbike with the horn of
right.
Mori.
Yeah.
And also, you can also see from Beyonce's music album,
Yeah,
Black is King, you can also see.
Oh yeah, there's also some semblance there as well.
Yeah.
When you look at Touki Bouki, you see how unique it is. I think I consider it kind of a pioneer film, especially in the way it talks about certain very uneasy topics in Africa. Let's say something like nudity or homosexuality or, attacking the government, but in a subtle way. So one of the kind of subtle topics we find in this film is how politics is portrayed, and it's portrayed in two ways. Before the Senegalese people began to rule themselves, the country was under France, right? And it wasn't functioning then. But now it's under Senegalese people, and it's still not functioning. So what's the problem? So a lot of young people begin to dream about leaving Senegal to go to Europe for better lives. So this film kind of asks that question, but in a very subtle way. It shows politics in a way that is doesn't take sides. It attacks the African leaders, and at the same time attacks the European thinking, in regard to Africa. So I think those things kind of make it timeless. Yeah, a film that we'll always go back to.
Despite of the film's fame these days, it was a commercial failure at the moment, and it was only screened a few days in Senegal, and then people in Senegal couldn't accept the films. Well, I think this is because the film is quite art film, I would say, with unconventional style, such as non-linear storytelling, so many jump cuts. It's also, I want to say about homosexuality, because it was quite impressive to see gay in the film, and the way the characters like acting, it was really like surreal.
It's very convincing, right?
Yeah. So I was shocked that Senegal, the majority of the religion is Muslim.
The country is more than 95% Muslim. And in such a country, you would expect it to be very conservative. Certain things are not supposed to be shown in mass media, for instance. Things like sexuality in a very, outspoken way. It's prohibited. But this film comes up with kind of nude scenes. Djibril Mambety, the director, his father was a Muslim cleric, kind of the person that blesses people in the mosque during prayer. That's a very important role in the community.
So it's kind of revolutionary film.
Yeah.
I'm more sure that storytellers like to trigger conversation to the people, despite the religions and environment. So how this director can make the film about this nudity?
He's actually from the background of theater.
Yeah.
He was an actor.
Yeah.
And being a theater actor before becoming a director, we would expect that he read a lot of theater plays. And you know, in theater there is no boundary. Yeah, they show every subject however way they want.
Yeah.
And he wanted to bring that into film.
Overcrowded and top-heavy, the wooden fishing boat packed with migrants tipped over, sending hundreds plunging into the sea.
Not probably every day, but every week there is something about the young black people are trying to cross over to Europe. It's quite similar to what Auntie Mori was trying to do in 1973 in this setting. You know?
Yeah. But we're not talking about all the Senegalese going to like different countries to the Europe, but there is still people who want to go to the other country, taking risk. All this journey to go to the France, using these songs, Paris, Paris, Paris. Whenever they steal this, like the money, Paris, Paris, it makes everything happier, peaceful.
Paris kind of feels like heaven, right?
Yeah, so I'm wondering, like, why France at the times become like a heaven for the people in Senegal?
Let's look at how France governed its colonies in Africa, for instance. They came up with this thing they call assimilation, which means you in our colonies, you can be French if you accept our culture and language. You can let go of a little bit of your culture, a little bit of your language, and as long as you proclaim to be French, we'll treat you as French. So why they see France as heaven is because France sells itself like that.
But you know, when you watch the film, in the end, there's some French people talking about their lives in Senegal. So I can see how director wanted to criticize this this notion to think about Paris as a heaven, but why Paris is not a heaven.
Yeah, it's a very good point, because if it's heaven, then why do they prefer to save money in Africa? Those characters prefer to save money in Africa, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of, you know, that actor is kind of being very smart in the way it shows that.
Nous n'avons jamais quitté Dakar. Il n'y a rien à voir au Sénégal d'ailleurs. C'est tout sec et d'un vide intellectuel.
D'accord, le traitement d'un coopérant est le triple de celui d'un enseignant sénégalais.
It's also a really political way because it's also showing the neocolonization.
Sure.
Yeah.
It does that.
It does. Yeah. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
It
is what it is. Power play, you know. You know, France is kind of just being the bigger dog. You know?
And you know, for those who want to know more about Senegalese film or African cinema scene, I'd like to mention Ousmane Sembène.
Yeah.
He's also a pioneer of Senegalese film. Sembène also created the film based on his writings. One of his objectives of the film, it's a kind of celebrate African culture and also reflect the issues of that era. I would recommend to also take a look from different film.
Definitely.
Yeah. But I'm quite wondering, like I knew that 1970s a kind of golden era in Senegalese film, but what happened now?
70s is no doubt the golden age in African cinema for sure, and after that, kind of cinema in Africa kind of took a nosedive, and then it's until recently that we kind of, you know, beginning to have new directors coming in. And the reason why there was a space where there were no films coming out in Africa is because most African governments at that time, they put priorities in other areas other than art. Not just film. Art in general was not that much funded in most African countries.
I was quite surprised, like it took like more than like 15 years for Mambety to release another long film.
Maybe partly connected to that. Maybe there was not that much funding in film industry in Senegal at that time that he could do.
Nonetheless, things are looking up. There are more online streaming service.
Netflix originals.
Yeah, originals and Showmax and
And,
also Iroko TV
In Nigeria.
in Nigeria.
For sure.
You know, like Nollywood is like kind of flourishing.
Always gonna be something to watch.
Yeah.
Moving on. So
Yeah, yeah.
that's a good thing, I think. Yeah.
And I actually quite surprised Touki Bouki was screened last year in Korea, one of the cinema program. So like I hope if this our review can make you get interest in this film. But if you watched it already, please let us know how you feel about it.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Your comment is always very important to us, so go. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, thank you for watching and
Yeah.
we'll see you next time.
Yeah. Bye-bye. This is avant-garde of all African
Not
films.
avant-garde.
Oh, then what is it?
Avant-garde.
Avant-garde of African cinema.